Welcome to the Baseface Network.
First, I will introduce our members. Nur Eldina Syafiqah binti Nur Azmi 2022482014. Nur Aina Safiah binti Nur Khairuddin 2022886228. Nur Sakina binti Muhammad Hatta 2022472116 and Nur Syuhada 2022826702. There are our overview for this video. What key need we meet? Who keys is needed? How often do people experience this problem and when? How big this problem for users or customer? What will happen if that need is not met? What is our unique approach to meeting this need? What is our solution? And do we have any technical issue to solve?
A soundproof blender is designed to minimize the noise from the blending process. It might be impossible to create a totally no-noise blender due to the high power of the blade rotates. We need to keep being up to date with the technology as it is keep evolving. What key need will you need? Firstly, it is a one-time investment. The soundproof blender is considered high technology as it has various features. It is also time-saving and multi-purpose. Whose key need is needed for this soundproof blender? Firstly, we got neighborhood. The soundproof blender would prevent the noise pollution that could disturb others. Secondly, mothers and housewives. The soundproof blender make it easier for them to use it with the multi-purpose and time-saving features. Lastly, cafe baristas. With how fast and strong the blade blends, it will save time for the baristas to make orders that would not disturb the customers as it is soundproof.
A housewife that have a young children, she definitely want her kitchen is safe and quiet. So, in case that children is asleep, of course the mother want to do their job be done before the kids wake up. If kids wake up from the sleep because of the noise coming from the blender, it must be hard for the mother to start cooking. Other than that, there might be another family members that need to finish their work at home that need concentration so they can finish their work faster. So the mother need to change their blender to the soundproof blender. Most neighbors tend to express dissatisfaction with the noise emanating from the blender in the adjacent house. This could potentially strain your relationship with them, as the noise might agitate and irritate them. Opting for the noiseless blender not only demonstrates consideration for their pets but also respect their privacy and overall well-being. With a quieter blender, you can freely mix ingredients at any time without concern about disturbing the tranquility of your home.
So now I'm going to tell you guys how big this problem for user or customer. First, it's time consuming when the user need to make sure the blender is blending. Second, it's disturbing the neighbor peace when the blender is so loud. Third is replacement cost. It's hard and expensive just to fix one part of the blender.
There are few unique approach to meeting this need, which is the blender motor. The straightforward air-cooled electric motor housed in the housing powers of the blender. It rotates a couple shaft from versions maintain airflow by using the motor's motion to draw in air for ventilation, while others have a fan. Multiply speed are frequently available on blenders, which are operated by buttons or switch that modify the motor's power. While most multi-speed blenders have 3 speeds, low, medium and high. Some models have up to 18 speed settings for different purposes. Blenders from today's model are capable of producing juice, sauce and milkshake. Second, we have feed blades. Conventional blender typically have a single, non-replaceable blade at the bottom of the jar. This blade's ability to have numerous points at the different angles aids in completely blending ingredients. Crushing ice and even liquefying ingredients are all made possible with this one blade. Stainless steel is typically used to make blender blades, which are made up for two or more blades rotate around one another to cut. Third is lids and fill caps. The majority of blender lids are composed of rubber, and they frequently have a hole in the middle of a plastic fill cap. With the help of detachable fill cap, you can add more items to the jar without having to take off the whole lid. 4. We have jar. The primary container that the ingredients meant for blending are put into the blender jar. They have a lid on top and can be constructed of plastic or glass. Jar was clear to make easy to clean. Last but not least, we have gasket. The rubber ring, also referred to as the seal ring or gasket, which is posted between the blades and the blender jar bottom to prevent leaks.
The laborious process of grinding ingredients one by one using a mortar not only consumes a significant amount of time and energy but also make the blending difficult, adding an extra layer of challenge to the already time-consuming culinary task. Blending becomes challenging as it consumes a considerable amount of time and energy when using a mortar to grind each ingredient individually, making the entire cooking process more labor-intensive.
What is our solution? We have suggested 3 solutions. First is make soundproof blender. Second, make the blade compartment easy to open or removable. Third, make the motor rotation have heat resistant.
Next is technical issue to solve. Yes, we have a technical issue. There are many we can find. First is blades not rotating. There may be a problem with the motor or drive mechanism, or the blade may be jammed. To solve that, we need to unplug the blender, look inside the blades for any obstruction, and look for problem with the drive socket and motor. In the event that the motor of a certain blender overheat, the reset button can be pressed. Second is excessive noise or vibration, worn out or loose parts, incorrect assembly, or problems with the motor, and we can solve by making sure the blender is correctly assembled, tighten any loose parts, and inspect the blades and other parts for wear. A problem with the motor may also be indicated by excessive noise or vibration. Next is leaking blender jar. Damaged gasket, loose blade assembly, or cracks in the blender jar. We can inspect the blender jar for any damage or cracks. Tighten the blade assembly securely and replace the gasket if it's damaged. Think about getting a new jar if it's broken. Lastly, overheating. Leaving the blender running for too long, adding too much food, or running it at a high speed for too long. Before using the blender, once more, let it cool down. Don't overfill the blender or use it non-stop for long periods of time.